Welcome to Mint Customs Workshop.
On today's episode, we review Kev's teabag collection, we catch some rare footage of the old man doing some work, and I ride the Harley Davidson for the very first time.
See how we feel when the scars have faded. Why don't we see if it's love without the blood?
I posted an Instagram photo on Mint Customs and on Parry Brothers asking you which front end would you use in Harley Davidson bobber build. I also put a poll out on the YouTube community page. Let's have a look at the results. So the post was, what front end would you use in a Harley Davidson bobber build? There's 14 comments on the Mint Customs one. First one being Tomboy bit, Springer front end, Old Leaf Springer, Sugar Bear Springer, Springer. A little bit controversial. Nope, Springer. Springer. Oh shit.
So the day didn't get off to a good start. It seems everyone is suggesting we put a Springer front end in our budget bobber.
Parry Brothers, 12 comments. Tomboy bit again, Springer. Ford Transit front end by A&M Motorcycles. 16-inch front wheel wide glide from the old man. That's a good shout because we actually do have one of those. We don't have a Springer front end. Or a girder front end with a smiley face from Fatboy Slim 2020. There is a big problem with a lot of these comments so far, and they're all saying a Springer front end, which is a brilliant choice. Obviously, Springer front ends are awesome. The problem is we don't have one.
And the main reason why we don't have any laying around the shop is because the old man has used them in the last 4 or 5 bobbers he has built.
And if we bought one in, we simply don't have the budget either. Let's go over to YouTube and see what people have been voting for. So the first option is a conventional narrow front end or a conventional front end wide, Springer front end 50%, upside down front end and other 6%. Let's see what others. Girder front end, old school girder all the way. Skinny front with long forks. So basically that's hands down, that's a win for Springer front ends yet again. We don't have one. This is a big problem.
And perfectly cool.
Basically our options are a wide front end with a 16-inch front wheel with a fat tire on the front, or a skinnier front end with a skinnier front wheel. Let's try both and we'll make a decision. And if you'll know if you've built bikes before, sometimes you dream big, you have all of these ambitions to do something amazing, but reality kicks in and you simply don't have the money to buy certain parts that you want to use on your bike. We've got to compromise today and come up with the second best option and work with what we've got basically. Today I also want to try and get the engine into the chassis once we've decided what to do with the front end. We also need to make some decisions on what fuel tank to run and what oil tank to run. So today we're going to give out some options and you can comment below on what you think we should run.
Make sure you follow and subscribe to gain your voting power.
Yeah, I voted on my own poll and put Springer front end, and we don't even have a Springer.
First up was the wide front end. The old man fitted a really nice Shimco white wall tyre to the 16-inch front rim, while I fitted the suspension. You will notice I'm spending a lot of time working with the bearing. We don't want any play in this front end, but we also don't want it to be stiff either.
So I've fitted this front end. This is the wide front end with the 16-inch front wheel and the fat tyre. And for some reason, just doesn't quite suit this frame. I know these forks are a bit long. We could shorten these forks, give it a bit of a better stance, but this front end just doesn't suit this frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap this over for the narrow front end and reassess the situation. Let's crack on.
After quickly making some wheel spacers, should do the trick, and getting the front end finalised, it was time to look at some wheels.
And perfectly cool.
I found this front wheel, which we're not going to use because it's really ugly and shit, but it's got a disc on it, so we need this disc. The front wheel we are going to use is this 19-inch. It's pretty much the only wheel I can find that's spoked and will match the rear wheel. The old man seems to have used all the 21-inch front wheels, so we're stuck with a 19-inch front wheel. But it might suit this build, especially if we use the clip-on handlebars. We're going to throw it in the bike and have a look. So I'm going to whip this disc off, get it on that wheel, and get it in the bike. Do you want to do this?
That's alright.
I feel like this is a job you could be doing.
An easy job, is it?
Yeah, while I'm drinking tea.
While you're drinking the tea that I just made you.
Yeah. We also have a huge decision to make with the handlebars because there are so many options. As this is the first Harley Davidson I've ever built, I'm kind of leaning towards running clip-on handlebars on this bobber because that is what I'm used to riding with. That's kind of my comfort zone. So I think we're going to be using some clip-on handlebars, which we do have a set in the workshop that we can use. So it's not like we've got to spend any of the budget on buying anything in. We already have those parts. I don't know. If you think otherwise, please comment below and give a suggestion on what handlebars you think will be best for the job. Okay, let's put this in the bike, see what it looks like.
Not only do we now have a front wheel, we also have a front brake. Nice.
Along with the handlebars, we also have to decide on what the foot pegs we want to run. These kind of work together because it gives you the overall riding style and the overall position that you will be sat on the bike. And I think comfort for me overrules looks. These are forwards. They are forward facing foot pegs. And you can see the guy's leg, how he's positioned on the bike. I think we should try and get the best of both worlds. And if we can get it looking really cool and comfortable at the same time. And these are midway pegs, and you can see the position of his legs. It's a win-win situation. So the next job, now the front end's in. It's not a Springer front end, I know, I'm sorry. I can only apologise, I feel so bad. But we do have a front end and it looks so much better than that wide front end. The next job is we need to look at the motor and oil tank because those two things are important, apparently. This motor has its issues. It's got an oil leak and it needs a bit of tidying up. It's got some parts missing like a carburetor and coil pack, but the basics are there and it's absolutely perfect for our budget build because it's already in the workshop. We don't have to spend any money. It is an expensive engine if you did have to buy an engine, but we already have it, so we're not spending any money, which is great because we don't have any money. I don't really know much about these motors apart from the fact I know it's a push rod system. It's very simple. It's got a very unique sound. And this motor is a 1200cc 4-speed gearbox Sportster and Harley Davidson engine.
On the rob again.
Yeah, I'm nicking more parts. We need to go and see if we can steal some engine mounts off the old man and get this engine in that frame. I found some front engine mounts which we're definitely going to need. And then we need to look at the oil tank. So no time to sit around drinking tea, we need to crack on, get this job done. So where's my clothing? Have you ordered any clothing yet?
Yep. Do I get my clipboard now then?
No, you don't get a clipboard in the budget, sorry.
Sake.
We haven't even got enough money to finish this bike. You can't be spending money on clipboards. So we need to raise some money. So feel free to go to the website and buy a t-shirt. So Lee has the nickname Lee the Engine Carrier. And it's because he's pretty much putting every Harley Davidson engine in this shop.
Onto the stand, yeah?
There you go, that's the bottom one in this side.
Shit, it's in place. It will check back.
That's it, that's it. Yes. Got dirty hands.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Battery up.
I found some engine bolts. Some. We need to find a few more. But that's a pretty boring job. Who cares about bolting the engine in? The engine's in. We need to have a conversation about what oil tank we're using and what fuel tank we're going to use.
The sun has gone down.
If you've ever had a motorcycle painted, you will understand how expensive it is to get any kind of paintwork done. I have found a collection of tanks in the workshop, and 2 of them have been freshly painted and been sat on this shelf for a number of months. To save money and to protect our tiny little budget, if any budget at all, I think we should use one of the freshly painted tanks. Both of them are the Mustang style tanks, and both of them have very different designs. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
So this is currently the oil tank that's on the bike, and it has this spike on the end, which is quite cool. And then underneath it has this flat plate, which we could tie like a tool bag to, or we could come up with something that could sit on that flat plate. I quite like the design. I think the old man's been trying something different with this, because normally he makes them with flat ends, and we put our own Mint Customs oil tank design on the ends of the oil tanks. So really the decision needs to be made on whether we stick with this and finish this oil tank and use this, or we make a new one from scratch and make it how we make all the others. And I'll show you an example. This is one the old man has made with the flat ends, and we normally put our design on there. Everything else about the oil tanks are pretty much the same. There's one there as well. The filler cap goes on top, and then we have the oil feeds coming in and out of the tank. So let us know which one you want us to run. One like this, or that one that's on there currently with the spike on the end. Please subscribe to the Parry Brothers YouTube channel, and you can head over to our website parrybrothers.com and see our full range of merchandise. See you in the next episode.
Maybe I'm still a child. Maybe I'm still a child. Maybe I'm afraid of battles, obligation, and the fault of expectation. All the changes in the patience, the lasting transformations. Keep your new ones, a portion. I would rather have distortion. Maybe I'm a child.
Ah, one more thing before you go. Look what I just found. Woo! 1 or 2 seats. Comment below. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.